Hello, I'm Brandon. I'm going to show you today about your handrail system that you're fixing to receive for your Hocket ozone spa. Basically, you're going to receive two packages, okay? These brackets right here, these are going to be one package. These 4 pieces and these 2 pieces. That's one package. Your other package is going to be the stainless steel rails along with the back brace. It's a rail also, okay? When these come, they're going to be wrapped up tight. You're going to have to take all the wrappers off of them, the cardboard surrounding, and then you're going to probably set them up against the wall, or you can lay them in the floor. We don't want to scratch them up. They're pretty durable, but like you don't want to rub them on concrete or nothing. Okay, so when you get these, inside, these are attachments. And one of them is going to be wrapped with shrink wrap, and it's going to have screws inside of it. At least 8 of them, okay? I usually send 9 or 10, but you need 8 to complete your mission. That's basically what's going to come to you in your shipping package. Now, I want to show you the tools that you're going to need to complete this project, okay? You can use a drill, you can use an impact driver, 12 volt is fine, you can use a big one, whatever. But you're going to need a 5/16 nut driver. You're going to need a rubber mallet or dead blow hammer like this one. You're going to need a ratchet with a 1/2 inch socket. I prefer to use the 1/4 inch drive because we have to get under the machine. It's a little easier to handle. You don't need the extension, but you can use an extension, whatever's more comfortable for you. But this is basically what's going to come to you with your handrail set. The tools do not come with it, of course, but these are basically what you need. When these attach to the bottom of the machine, I've put extra instructions on here, okay? Yours are not going to have the extra instructions. They're going to have an arrow pointing to the front. This is the way it situates on the machine. These 2 will be angling out towards the front of the machine. On the 2 that go on the back, they'll be angling out the back of the machine. You'll have an arrow on here pointing to the front. The arrow goes to the front. You won't see this because it fastens to the bottom of the machine. Okay, we're going to get ready to put your handrails on your Hocket unit, okay? You got wheels on your Hocket, they're going to have to come off because our base plates fasten to the bottom of the machine, then the wheels go on, then the bolts make that attachment, okay? And basically there's a couple of different ways you could do this. I'm going to show you the way that works best for me. You have to have a support to go underneath the machine to elevate it, okay? It's only about 3.5 inches off the ground, okay? So what I've done is I've got some 4x6 blocks and I've cut them to go underneath the machine. They only need to be 2 foot. Excuse me, Kenneth. I had a 6 foot 4x6 block, so this is about 3 foot here, and then I have another 2 foot piece. It's 4 inches one way, 6 the other. You could stack 2x4s. This just works easier. It was simpler for me to do, okay? We're gonna elevate this machine. I suggest you have somebody help you with this. I could do it by myself, but I've done a lot of these. You haven't, okay? So get somebody to help you with it. You come to the front of the machine and you're gonna pick it up, and then your partner's gonna slide the block underneath it, okay? The front, it's not light, but it's not, I'm gonna tell you it's about 70 pounds, okay? So then now we're going to come to the back of the machine, and we have another block to go. We want to go in front of the rear wheels, and we're going behind the front wheels. You want to leave a little space there. It's not really that important because the wheel sticks out past where you're going to need to put your wrench. But on your back one, I've put a groove in this, okay? And the reason I put a groove in here is you have a drain that runs down the center of your Hocket unit from the front of the machine to the back. So I cut this about 1.5 inches by about 1.5 inches by about 1.5 inches. It's not going to touch the drain, But the majority of the machine will rest on top of this block, okay? You could use a 2x4, a 2x4, a 2x4, and then cut a 2x4 and cut a 2x4 and leave a gap in the middle. Would work just as fine. You could stack books underneath it as long as both sides were level and you were supporting the machine, okay? This just works fastest and best for me, okay? So then we're gonna come to the back of the machine and set the block down. Now the back of the machine is heavier than the front of the machine because you probably already have water in here. It's not really worth draining. It's probably about 12 pounds. But this is where all the mechanical parts of the machine are. So it's gonna be heavier, okay? There's a little lip right here on your hocket. This is what I pick it up by right here. I'm gonna tell you this probably weighs 100 to 125 pounds depending on how much water you got in it, okay? So then you're gonna, one person's gonna pick this up right here, lift with your legs, not your back. Then you're gonna place the block under there where the drain is in that leave out that we've cut in the block, okay? Now your machine's good and sturdy. It's not gonna roll, it's not gonna move. Now you're safe to work underneath it. That's the whole reason for the blocks. Now that we've got the hocket setting up on blocks, it's elevated off the ground where the wheels are a couple of inches off the ground. You don't need it to be tremendously high off the ground. A couple of inches is fine. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all the wheels off, okay? I'm gonna show you how to do one. They're all the same. They all take a 1/2 inch socket. Again, I suggest you use a small one with a 1/4 inch drive just because we're not trying to overpower this deal. We're just taking bolts out and we're gonna put them back in. Okay. We're gonna take these wheels off. I've already got a couple of screws out. You're just gonna come right here with your 1/2 inch socket. These are basically what you call pallet lag screws, okay? There's nothing tricky about them. You just want to take these all the way out. They're kind of long. I have to admit, we've taken this particular set off a few times. Yes, sir. Each one has 4 bolts. They all need to go back in. Don't try to short it when you go back, because this is what lends strength to the handrails, because it's going to fasten the plate and the wheels back on, okay? So just take these off, go all the way around, get them all off, put them somewhere in a bucket or something so you don't lose any, okay? And we're going to go ahead and pull the rest of these off, and then we'll go to the next step. What we're going to do now is we're going to attach this front plate to the bottom of the machine with the wheels. It's a simultaneous connection, okay? You're putting the wheels and the bracket on at the same time. Again, we've got the arrow pointing to the front of the plate. When you receive yours, you're going to have this arrow pointing to the front of the plate. You're not going to have all this. We did this for the video purpose so it was crystal clear. But you're going to have an arrow pointing to the front of the plate. That's the way that it goes on. Okay. We're going to attach this to the bottom. It is easier to do this with someone helping you, okay? But you could do it by yourself. I'll go over that with you in a minute. But right now I'm going to show you what's going on. I've got Kenneth to help me. We're going to pick this plate up. We're going to kind of line it up with those holes, okay? Then we're going to take the wheels. It doesn't matter which way you turn them as long as this is front to back, okay? You line it up with these wheels right here. You're going to take the bolt. You're going to go through the wheel, then through the plate into the machine. If Kenneth wasn't here to help me, what I would do is support that side with a couple of blocks or books or whatever you want to use to hold it up there, and then that way you can work on the other side to get the bolt started, okay? You're putting the wheel on. You see the wheel hanging here? You're putting the bolt through the wheel, through the plate, into the machine, okay? And that's your goal. You got to put all 4 screws on. Get them nice and snug. You don't have to over tighten them. Just get them tight where it's holding the wheel against the plate, sucked up tight, okay? The next step, we've got the front plate on the machine, okay? So you're gonna come over here and you're gonna select your handrail. Okay, when you pick your handrail up, there's an attachment that goes at the back of the machine. That's on the tall end. You want to face the machine. If it's sticking out this way, you got the wrong side. Okay, so now I'm going to take it and put it on the machine. You just slip this right on. Okay, you've got a hole drilled right here. Just don't put a screw in it yet. We'll get to that. That'll be the last thing we do. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to the back of the machine. Now I've got this handrail on here. This is real steel. Okay, this isn't junk. It's heavy duty. So it's going to support the weight of the entire handrail. Okay, we're not going to leave it like this, but to make it easier to put it together, we're going to let it hang here. So you're at the back, you're going to take that bottom plate, you're going to slide it up into the handrail, okay? And then you bring it up flush to the bottom of the machine, you put the wheel underneath it, and you put your screws back through it, just like you did on the front, okay? And then once you get those screws started, then you can ratchet them down and move to the other side. One more reminder, this hole right here on the handrail where it fastens to the bar on the plate, we do not want to fasten that screw until the very end. That's our last step, is to put in the 4 screws, 2 on each side at the end. We can go ahead and set it on the front just like we did the other side. Let it slide down there. Now we're going to put the back on. Exact same thing, opposite side. So now we've got the handrails on the machine. What we're going to do is we're going to put the back brace support in for the handrail system. So these are our 2 connectors. They're not going to have holes in them when you get them. And then you're going to have this piece of stainless steel pipe. It's got 2 holes in it. Those 2 holes are going to point down towards the ground. Okay? Now let me show you what's happening over here. I'm going to set this down for just a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our handrails. We got a little bit of a gap right here. I don't know, maybe that's a 3/16, a little bit more than an 1/8. Again, a rubber mallet, dead blow hammer. Just going to tap right here. We want to get this down here as close to flush as we can. If you've got a little bit of a gap, it's going to be okay because we're down over the pipe good. But we really want these to be level so that when we put this middle piece in here, it lines up. You know, it's not like this. Okay, so we're going to tap down on this one. And we've got it down to the plate now. Now we've got these 2 inserts that are going to receive this bar that goes in the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this insert, you're going to put it right here. Then you're going to need your rubber mallet and you're going to tap it in there. You're going to do the same thing on this side. Now you need to screw this to the stainless steel. If you look right here, there's a hole already drilled through the stainless steel going up. So right here, these screws that came with it, there's a hole right here. It'll be pre-drilled in the stainless steel. You're just screwing into this sleeve, and that's gonna secure it so it can't slide when we put the brace piece here in the middle, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this screw in on this side, and I'm gonna put the one on the other side, and we'll go to the next part of this. Ready? These are self-tapping screws. So what you're gonna do is after it's tapped in there good, you just wanna take this screw and put it right into it. Now we're going to take this brace piece that goes in the back. Realize it's got these 2 holes in the bottom of it. Again, they're going to point down so we can screw up into it after it's in place. So I'm going to slide this end on. You might need your rubber mallet here, you might not. I didn't. Then right here, you're going to spread that just a little bit. Then you're going to bring it together. These will need to be pulled together tight like this for our finished product. But able to make that happen, what we're going to do is pull one side tight and put a screw in it. Then we're going to pull the other side tight and put another screw in it. Yep. Okay, so this back brace bar is complete now. That's what's giving you your support for the back end of the machine. But what you want to do is check them all at the bottom. They might need a little bit of a tap on them to get them down nice and flush to the bottom, okay? As you can see, we've got it's really tight there. There might be a 1/16 or less right there. That's perfect because this pole that comes up in here is coming up to about right here. We put the screws here on the inside of this so you don't walk by it and scratch yourself or something on it, okay? These will never be in the way of anything where we've placed them. So now when we put these on, what we're going to do, this is carbon steel comes up inside. This is stainless steel on the outside. It's a lot tougher, the stainless steel is. But the carbon steel is thick. So this may not be too easy right here, okay? I mean, you have to actually that one went pretty easy, but it was partially drilled, okay? So this one right here, it takes a minute to get through it. Do the same thing on this other side. Okay. So now we're going to take the blocks out from under it. If you'll notice, the wheels will be sitting on the concrete. The plate is sitting on the wheels. The weight of the machine is sitting down on all of it. And then when you step into it, what you're doing is you're pressing those wheels into the floor, so it makes everything a little bit more sturdy. That's the design of it. So I'm going to pick this up. He's going to slide that block out. We'll let the front end down. It's usually the easiest end to work with. Now we're going to go to the back. I'm going to raise the back. He's going to slide the block out. Now, your machine is ready to go, just like it was when we started, and we've got handrails on it now, okay? We're going to test this walking into it. I'm going to show you a few things about the front doors, but I'm going to put the brakes on it. You need to put the brakes on it before you step into the machine. One of the main purposes of having the handrails on the Hocket, I'm fixing to go over with you. When you open your Hocket doors, they're ready to go just like that. So in using your Hocket, you step up in here and you're going to turn around and you're going to sit down in your Hocket. What we just did was not put the weight on these doors. And also it'll assist you when you're getting out, so you're not pressing down on these doors. We want your machine to last as long as it can. And the thing is, this enables that to happen, because now we're not going to damage the machine as we use it on a daily basis. When you get done in here, the steam's been activated, the ozone, you've received all your healing benefits from it. What we want to do then is make it an easy transition for you to get up out of the machine, not put weight on the doors, and step out of the machine unassisted. What I've tried to do on my machines recently, if you'll see, this door is actually touching the handrail, okay? After a lot of opening and closing, it could leave a mark on your door. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we have a little rubber bump. We're going to stick it right here. When the door opens, it rests against the rubber bump instead of against the steel.